Recap Monday, December 1st. Took two losses and a break even. Not the best performance from me. I stand by the first two positions I took. The third one was a little bit sketchy. I was really playing chop, trying to be aggressive on chop. Uh, my idea today, I was really just watching this 281 low here, and then also this huge internal high, or this huge high of this range that we had ran up into. And I was basically at the point of market open when we were trying to sell off of that high on this push up all the way into these levels up here. I was basically trying to gauge whether or not this was a big liquidity sweep off of 61, and I was using these internal lows to help me get a read on that. Because if we were going to have a big liquidity sweep and then buy up these lows, then I was going to be a little bit suspicious of this thing selling off immediately. Because these are kind of internal lows. This is potential for a sweep of this whole range. So I was watching both of those and gonna play ideas based on that 81 and 61. Um, Basically right on market open. I'm watching what we do at 81 and the internal ranges in relation to it. We try to sell off immediately at 81. It just one tick buys up this internal low and then it starts regaining and holding cleanly. So I wanted to be bullish on 81, actually holding as a sweep because it tried to sell off and just bought up this internal low. If we regain and hold and start breaking cleanly, I want to try to catch the push up into these equal highs right here and potentially all the way back up into 361 to regain it because this is the huge high that we tried to sell off. So I wanted to be long on 81 after we got above and held off of this sweep. I wanted to make sure that this internal high was not going to sell us off. We tried to sell off. In my eyes, all it did was rebalance 81 and then this higher time frame monthly level that had not been retested yet. And then still held here, still held, and then we got this aggressive break. And I was also watching this wick here because this wick was holding this thing down. So when I was convinced that this attempt to stay in the range and sell off was just a rebalance and then it broke, I took a retest right there where that on the top of that wick where the right on the top of that wick in this candle, and I was break even on that trade once it pushed up, and this thing just didn't want to break out. It just was sweeping again, but I still stand by it. Like, yeah, there's potential for it to be a fake breakout, but what am I gonna miss every trade because I'm scared of getting faked out? I still stand by it. Like, I had everything in the way I'm looking at the markets in this point in time. The only one thing I didn't have was holding this thing from above. What I'm trying to fix in my trading is missing trades because just waiting for perfectionism, just like waiting for every single confirmation. So I'm trying to experiment with being a little bit more aggressive on my ideas just because of how that's actually been happening or how that's been actually playing out. But I got this break even. I like the trade. This thing instantly died under, so I said, okay, like, is this thing just sweeping to stay internal and then gonna continue pushing over 81, which is my idea? Or are we really gonna lose it and potentially catch a break to 193? So we fall under 81 and then instantly hold under. Now for me to get bearish, I wanted to see what we did back at this low because this low was the one that originally stopped the idea market open of trying to sell off. So this is an important low to me. We get under 81 and hold it off of this fake breakout. We spike it. We try to hold it. I'm saying, what are we actually doing back at this low? In my eyes, we spiked it, had no follow through, and then died through. I took another aggressive short trying to break out. Um, on the range of this fair value gap once it turned inversion. In my eyes, this was the thing that was holding us down. Yeah, I'm shorting the bottom of a potential liquidity sweep, but at the moment in my mind, the context of this thing failing to break out and then trying to hold us and then failing. it just gave me confidence to try to be aggressive on a breakout, and this thing just did the same thing. Like this is literally the exact same trade as here, and the exact same thing happened. It just failed to break out. And then from there, I was like, okay, this thing is being choppy and rangy. Let me wait till 81 actually does something into one of the next targets of liquidity or something, so I can get more continuity on what 81's doing on a larger scale. 81 actually broke out into these internal highs and into 361. So I was saying, okay, what are we doing up here? If we're holding above these off of the 81 sweep, then I want to be bullish. We pushed up, started flying over. We started stalling at 61. And I wanted to see what is this stalling doing? In my eyes, it just ran this internal low, still held everything, and we were continually holding off this wick, which I was about to use as a break and retest wick. If this thing broke and I was still convicted in the move. At this point, it was extremely choppy, and I knew that if I was gonna play a break on this wick, I'm playing extreme chop right now. But I just decided in the moment to play this idea anyways, and it killed me. But in my eyes, 81 is failing to, or it's getting bought up on a higher time frame as a sweep. It's pushed us into these equal highs. We've tried to sell off these equal highs, the 344, but we can't. And we're getting back above 361. So internally, if we break out, I'm trying to take it. Um, yeah, basically, we tried to go immediately. It failed. In my mind, it just ran an internal low and started regaining 61. We kept trying to sell off once we would push up into this wick. We kept trying to fail it, but it was just holding 61, holding 61, holding 61, holding 61. And so when we finally broke, I took the chance that it was a really shallow break too, which really increases the risk more. I just took the retest of this wick. I should have really tried to take a lower entry into this wick because of how shallow it closed. There's just high probability that it will retrace some more and I get a lower fill. But I really just wanted to get in this trade for some reason, and basically got instantly killed. And yeah, took 2 losses, so I'm gonna have to be done. Really unfortunate. I think that these trades, I stand by both of them. The original trades, this trade was iffy playing chop, but like I think both of these original trades had potential to actually be the breakout of the move, and I had potential to catch relatively high R. So I'm taking those in every time still. I'm obviously gonna review the price action a little more and see. But this trade, this was kind of just eager to get into a position. Um, but it also wasn't the craziest idea anyway. Like the ideas were there. Everything was starting to step in line. It's just the conditions were just chopping. And I just played chop, which was kind of dumb knowing I only had 1 loss left in the day. And I still did that. But yeah, that's going to be all for today.